Good morning, Flagler County, and welcome to Veterans on Point, a WNZF radio show developed in mind for our county's beloved and respected veterans population and anyone else listening via internet or podcast. I'm your host, David Lyden, the Flagler County Veteran Services Officer, and naturally I'm here with my friend and colleague at the office, Eric Flores. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Dave. Welcome, guys, and good morning to everybody listening and watching our show on YouTube. And I hope that every one of you is doing great health-wise and enjoying the weather and the life that we have ahead of us.
If you're lucky enough to live in Flagler County, you are lucky enough. And we are lucky.
Oh, yes.
We're real lucky.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Eric and I are your veteran service officers here in Flagler County. We're located at 1769 East Moody Boulevard in Bunnell with a phone number of 386-313-4014. We encourage you to make an appointment. Come in and we can help with VA claims. We can help with so many other things, point you in the right direction for VA health care, for burial benefits, for home loans, for education benefits, even retired military information or survivors benefit plans for surviving spouses, all that. We have a long history. Both of us spent a lot of time in and around the military, been in veteran services a long time, so we have a lot of information in these noggins, and if we don't have it up in our head, we know where to find it, and we will help you with whatever we can.
Indeed.
So this week is the Army's 250th anniversary. And
Happy birthday, Army.
There's a big parade coming up on the 14th. And I'd like you to stay tuned to the end of all the way through the show to the end of the program. Listen to the Army's fight song. And so happy birthday, U.S. Army. I heard some wise guy say, I didn't know armies could have a birthday. Okay, it's an anniversary. All right. That makes you feel better.
Yeah.
All right. For somebody who would like to submit their veteran into the Palm Coast Observer as a Veteran of the Week, I encourage you to reach out to Brent Warnoff, who works for the Observer, and his email is brent@observerlocalnews.com, brent@observerlocalnews.com, so you can nominate and have your favorite veteran profiled in the newspaper. Massage by Natalie. We've talked about that over the weeks. So Massage by Natalie and Company, that is a sponsor of WNZF podcasts, including Veterans on Point. And we encourage you, if you have achy, breaky veteran bones and joints, to contact Massage by Natalie and Company at 386-227-7499. They're located at 4871 Palm Coast Parkway Northwest, Suite 1 in Palm Coast. All right. Our legal loyal listeners, I can't forget them. Of course, we got Billy Jones and his wife, Joe.
Good morning, guys.
Thank you for always being out there. Joe, I hope you're recovering real well.
Oh, yes,
You've been in our prayers and in our hearts and our minds. And same thing with Navy Master Chief Dan and his wife, Kay.
Morning, shipmates.
Up there in St. Cyr at the assisted living facility. We're going to have to schedule a hamburger Friday coming up soon here in June. And I know part of that will be Marine Jeff Kingdon. He'll be there with us.
He'll be there with us, yes.
He just did he goes to St. Cyr, I think.
Quite often.
Maybe every couple months, and does a briefing to the veterans there. And another guy that's gets around.
He's everywhere.
And that's another guy is Talking Tom Piekarski. Oh, yeah. And Jeff and him usually team up together, too, and do visits to the assisted living facilities or nursing homes along with the VFW riders. So that's a real nice thing that our local service organizations are out doing.
They're doing a great job, too, doing that.
And Charlie Hanger gets around, too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Charlie Hanger and his wife, Jenny, they're loyal listeners. And Charlie's a great vet and out there serving. Then we got Valerie and Dennis. Dennis is doing the guitars for vets. Have you seen Dennis in a while?
No, I haven't heard from him.
But I know he's out there because if I don't say Dennis, I'll get an email.
Monday,
so.
Yeah, Monday we get an email.
Well, thanks, Dennis. Thanks for being out there,
sir.
and thanks for being a serving the vets and teaching them how to play the guitar. Then we got Sharon and Bill. Bill's happy. Bill's a happy man. Then we got Shane, trying to make Shane a happy man too. So we got Norman and Howard and his wife Valerie and William and Holly and Keith and Jim Howard and Howard Howry at the Memorial Day ceremony.
Yes, I did saw him.
Yep. And Stephen Emmett and James, bunch of Jameses. James M., James the Mail Maid, James the Firefighter. We got Bicycle Frank. We got David and Mrs. Martin. We've got Michael, Delmer, and Don. We've got...
Delmer, I haven't seen him in a while.
I have not seen Delmer in a while. You're right. We got Rudolph, Thomas, and Leon. We got Gary. We got a James and Carol Toombs. And I know I mention James all the time. I don't always mention Carol. But Carol, I think you're listening too, right? And Frank Sr. and Frank Jr. So Frank Sr., I hope you're healing up good.
Yes.
And look forward to seeing you. I know you're going to come see me soon.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I think that's everybody on our list, but I know there's more listeners out there. And if you're listening, we thank you so much.
If you want us to mention your name, give us a call. 386-313-4014.
All right. So we've been talking about a president each week, highlighting some interesting, maybe little-known information about our presidents. And this is the 15th president, James Buchanan, who served from 1857 to 1861, a period marked by escalating tensions that would soon erupt into the Civil War. Born on April 23, 1791, in a log cabin in Cove Gap, Pennsylvania, Buchanan rose from humble beginnings to become a lawyer, seasoned politician, and diplomat. His presidency, however, is often criticized for its inaction during a critical time in American history. You cannot be a leader and have inaction. That's going to get you every time.
Yes.
His, let me see here. Yet beneath the surface of his well-documented failures lie lesser-known facets of his life that reveal a complex, if flawed, figure. Buchanan was a lifelong bachelor, the only president to remain unmarried, which sparked endless speculation. He shared a home for years with William Rufus King, a senator and vice president under Franklin Pierce. Their close relationship led some contemporaries to whisper that Buchanan's personal life, with critics like Andrew Jackson reportedly calling King Miss Nancy, while no definitive evidence confirms these rumors, their bond remains a curious footnote in history. Buchanan's niece, Harriet Lane, served as White House hostess, charming Washington society and earning praise for her grace, a role that made her one of the most memorable first ladies who was not a spouse. A lesser-known fact is Buchanan's peculiar physical trait. He had one nearsighted and one farsighted eye, causing him to tilt his head oddly during conversations, a quirk that baffled observers. Politically, he was a doughface, a northerner with Southern sympathies, which shaped his disastrous approach to slavery and sectionalism. For instance, he supported the Dred Scott decision, believing it would settle the slavery debate, but it only inflamed tensions. His handling of Bleeding Kansas was equally inept, and he backed the pro-slavery Lecompton Constitution, alienating many in his own Democratic Party. Buchanan's diplomatic background, including stints as minister to Russia and the UK, gave him a global perspective rare among presidents of his era. He helped negotiate the Oregon Treaty of 1846, which set the U.S.-Canada border, a quiet triumph overshadowed by his later failures. Another obscure detail, Buchanan was an early advocate for annexing Cuba, viewing it as a way to expand American influence, though his ambition fizzled amid domestic chaos. After leaving office, Buchanan retired to Wheatland, his Pennsylvania estate, where he wrote a defensive memoir, blaming others for the nation's woes. He died in 1868, largely unmourned. While history judges him harshly for his weak leadership, Buchanan's quirks, his tilted gaze, his bachelorhood, his diplomatic savvy, paint a portrait of a man out of step with the turbulent times he was meant to navigate. Well, that was a sad one.
It was.
Quote of the week from James Buchanan, in which he says, I am now in my 75th year, and I have no desire to live longer unless I can be of some service to my country. So right up to the end, he was kind of a sad president. Anyway, that was in his 1866 memoir.
That is a sad life.
Yeah, and again, 15th president, and I've learned something again.
Yeah.
So I love to learn. Never-ending journey in life should be learning. All right, now it's time to say, drivers. The DAV is seeking volunteer drivers to take veterans from their homes to their VA appointments. And that could be a VA clinic appointment, a medical center appointment, a community care network appointment that's been set up by the VA, or a compensation and pension examination by the Veterans Benefit Administration. So if you want to find out how to be a volunteer driver, call 386-439-2122. Ask for their transportation, folks. And you do not have to be a veteran to volunteer. You do not have to use your own vehicle. The DAV does have VA vehicles for that purpose. And it is a well-used, well-needed program. So find out how you can help. As I mentioned, this week is June 14th. We've got, and Flag Day is on June 14th, so fly your flags. The Army's 250th anniversary is also on June 14th. And so I hope you have a brand new, shiny red, white, and blue flag out there. Celebrate our nation's icon.
Made here.
Eric, what do you have for us on your
Just to remind our audience
agenda?
That the American Legion Post 115 is having the 5th annual charity golf tournament. It's going to be on Saturday, October 4th. It's going to be at the Palm Harbor Golf Club. Their timing is 7 a.m. They have the registration. If you don't register before that, you can register on that date at 7 a.m. Continue following by a 50-50 gameplay and continental breakfast. A shotgun star scramble format start at 9 a.m. And 1 p.m. they have a luncheon catered by Loopers. It is a 18-hole of golf. They have free hot dog and turn, range time, award luncheon, and player prize. So if you want to register now, don't wait until that date. You can call them at 386-585-5302. Also, the BFW Post 8696, throughout the weeks, they have a lot of events from bingo on Thursday. They have Guitar for Vets on Tuesday. They have the Queens of Heart on Monday, the Dance with Marty on, other Mondays. They have, let's see what else, Red Shirt Friday, Hot Dog, and Taco Tuesday. A lot of things going on at the BFW Post 8696, so please sponsor them.
I see they had a new installation of officers, too. So we've got
new leadership.
Chip Helms is at the helm. Oh, that's it. He's at the helm. Helms is at the helm.
Helm is at the helm, yes.
And he is an retired Army soldier.
Great guy.
And he is the new commander for the VFW. I didn't see who the second vice was, but I see the junior vice is Samantha.
Congratulations.
Samantha Ruiz is the junior vice for the VFW. So if you're listening, folks, congratulations on your new installation.
Very well.
And I see one of my veterans that I help out, Shane McKellop, is a trustee. So Shane, if you're listening, he's one of the loyal listeners. So Shane, thanks for stepping up and helping the VFW. Yes. So what did we want to talk about this week? Okay, this week we're going to highlight another vital benefit for
Very, very good.
for 100% permanent and totally disabled veterans, VA veterans. And this one's called the Dependent Education Assistance Program, or DEA.
Or Chapter 35.
Chapter 35. So when you get your decision letter telling you that you're now 100%, the VA finds that you're 100% permanently totally disabled due to your service-connected disabilities, there's going to be a sentence in there that says that you've been awarded the Dependent Education Assistance Program. That's always a good sign for you. You can know that you're now 100% if that was, if that's what you had applied for. So,
if you become 100%, just don't, pay attention to the letter that you receive, because there's other benefits attached to it, and this one is one. You should read that letter, carefully. Don't wait until you get to our office and wait for us to tell you, hey, you have an extra benefit.
Just look at the lines, the first line, finding out that you're 100%. Then I know it's usually like 26 pages they send you. And you think, and it's a bunch of mumbo jumbo to get through.
A lot of it is, but if you look, if you read it carefully,
there's important things in there.
Yes, they are. Other benefit like this one is there, and the person usually doesn't know about this benefit until they get to the office, and we have to tell them, which we will. That's not a problem, But you should be proactive instead of waiting for people to tell you about the other benefit that they are out there for you if you qualify under the 100%.
So. Under the DEA, eligible dependents can receive up to 45 months of education benefits. This covers tuition, books, and supplies for college degrees, vocational training, certification, and even apprenticeships. For the 25-26 academic year, full-time students at approved institutions can receive up to $1,401 per month, with payments adjusting for part-time study. Spouses may use benefits within 10 years of the veteran's disability rating, while children typically age 18 to 26 can access benefits after high school. In some cases, extensions apply for special circumstances. Eligibility requires the veteran to have a permanent and total disability rating from the VA, ensuring long-term support for their families. The program is flexible, allowing dependents to attend accredited schools, online programs, or trade schools. Application is straightforward through the VA's website, requiring documentation like the veteran's disability rating and dependent details. This benefit eases financial burdens and opens doors to education. For example, a spouse pursuing a nursing degree or a child aiming for a tech certification can focus on studies without the overwhelming cost. Veterans' families sacrifice so much, and DEA honors that by investing in their future. For more details or to how to find out how to apply on VA.gov, you can come see Eric or I at Flagler County Veterans Services, or you can visit a VA office if they have VSOs down at the clinics. So to stay informed, and let's support our veterans' families. So,
to me, Dave, this is. If you have children under the age of 18, this is the most important benefit that you get when you become 100%, because of what you just say. Financial burden, in addition to this one, you can get also.
It takes a big load off a kid not to have, those student loans.
So you may, the kid may be able to apply also and qualify for the Pell Grant, not because you got DEA that, the Pell Grant is a different program. So, you may be able to qualify for the other one. And also Florida have another educational, benefit that goes along with this one.
So long as you got your 100% when you lived in Florida.
Exactly. As long as you have your 100% when you're in the state. But that's a state benefit.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a great educational benefit for the family, for dependents. So that's why we should be aiming.
Yeah, so as Eric was mentioning before, that you get that letter from the VA, it's important to go through it line by line. And then once you've done that, and if you have questions, then you make an appointment with Eric or myself, and then we'll go over everything and if there's things that you want to apply for, you want to learn how to, let's say you want to use va.gov to apply for DEA and you don't have an account, we'll help you, teach you how to set up an account. There's other things in there that we'll talk about again in the future, like the CHAMP VA health insurance for your dependents. If you're not a retiree who gets the 100% rate, you get a free health insurance for your dependents. So those are things that are people overlook in that letter that are very, very important.
Very important. And like you said, you mentioned that va.gov. Guys, that's the best resource to apply for any of this veteran. We can help you out to do the form and then upload it, but it's going to take time for them to process. However, if you have an account in va.gov, you can apply for DEA or Chapter 35 online or for CHAMP VA online, and the process is way quicker than this one. Than the normal process, I should say. So we help you out to open an account with ID.me. I know it's painful. We know that, but we get you there.
Yeah, at va.gov, it is helpful to do faster, claims. As far as this goes, these types of things.
And it could be.
I don't recommend you do your own claim, your own disability benefits claim.
No, not the disability claim. Other benefit like dependency, CHAMP VA, DEA, yes.
Those are more straightforward.
Yeah, they're straightforward.
You're just answering questions and filling out online documents.
Indeed. It's very, once you become familiar with the website, it's not hard at all. Like Dave say, no claims. No.
Yeah, your disability benefits claims, you should get some counsel from a good VSO on, because they can, once in a while somebody hits it right, and it's just like I kind of liken it to going to the scratch-off machine over in Publix. You can get lucky, put in your $5 and get a scratch-off and get lucky, or you can be a loser. And so if you do your claims at home, you can get lucky. But if you don't get lucky and the VA tears up your claim, or they just don't do the right thing, they don't follow their own procedures, which happens way too much, you don't know it. Well, we'll know it when we do. If that happens to you, we'll know it. We'll go through the record, and we have access to the systems, and we can hold the VA accountable by looking at the exam reports and looking at the decisions, and we know if they cheated, or that they were lazy, or they made a mistake. We'll know it, and we'll help you fix it. But if you do it yourself, you don't see all that stuff.
No, not at all. And doing the claim is the easiest thing to do. But a claim entails more thing than just doing it. A lot more. Once
the claim has been processed, then that's when the that's when the tough work comes, because you got to make sure. We got to make sure that you actually, even if you got it, it seems like it was successful. You got your condition granted. Well, you don't know if they cheated you on the, and I use the word cheat, but it's or lowball. They lowball you on
or they made a mistake, whatever.
They lowball you on your rating because they didn't get your symptoms correct. All kinds of stuff that from home you're not going to know. So
what you could do is intend to file a claim, of course, and let us work with you.
But don't overdo the intent to file.
Oh, no, at all.
Because if you have something that you want to appeal, which is really a decision review, and you do an intent to file, you might circumvent that effective date.
You might lose that effective date.
That's why you got to check with the VSO and find out if you're taking the right steps. I know some of you, I know a lot of you out there, you're very independent, and that's fine. But find a good VSO who can walk you through it. You'll be better served.
I take this like an illegal matter. You're not going to go on yourself. You're going to hire an attorney because he know the law, he know this, he know that. Well, basically that's what we do, every day. So we know how to navigate that system.
And I would boast that we probably know the VA system better than most attorneys.
Oh yeah, indeed.
But anyway, folks, we're down inside the 2-minute warning. It's been a pleasure chatting with you folks today. And I got to remind you that no country, no state, and no community does more for veterans than the United States of America, the great and free state of Florida, the wonderful Flagler County, the lovely city of Palm Coast, all of our beautiful beach cities. I implore you to be a victor, not a victim, to be educated, not indoctrinated, and most importantly, be kind to someone today, or reach out and give somebody a hand. Eric?
Well, guys, thanks for listening and watching our show, and we hope to see you next weekend. Bye-bye.
God bless. Take care.